So, one of my very favorite things to talk about, to research, to think about is sunscreen. Over the course of this year, I have tried, I think, 43 different sunscreens between lip, face, body, makeup. I'm sure there's more that I couldn't come up with, but I have narrowed down, I think, 11 that I love and I'm going to bring into the coming year. So let me tell you first about my own skin. So I am dry / combo. I get oily through my T-zone. So I would rather have something more hydrating and then use a powder or a primer or a setting spray to kind of control that versus using something more matte or silicone-y that sucks the moisture out of my cheeks, because that is my driest area. Oh, and I'm also acne prone, so that's fun. So I use a lot of products like tretinoin, and I cleanse night and day with a benzoyl, like a low percentage benzoyl peroxide cleanser. So I find that my skin is a little more sensitive day to day. So I am looking for something that obviously doesn't burn, that plays well with my makeup, and that doesn't break me out further. So these are my favorites. Some of these I don't have the empties anymore, so I will just insert them. The first one that is a perennial favorite is the Paula's Choice Skin Recovery. I have used it for years. It is glowy, hydrating, and it plays well under makeup. So that's a favorite. I definitely used that this year. It's not one that I can grab in stores like at a Sephora, so that's another thing I'm looking for, is convenience. I like to troll the aisles of Target and be able to pick up my sunscreen. So that is how I discovered some of these products. Followed by the Paula's Choice is the Elta MD UV Facial. Elta MD is one that I see dermatologists recommend all the time. A lot of my friends love it. I believe they're all mineral. I could be wrong. But the UV Facial worked really well for me. It's really similar to the Paula's Choice. Very hydrating, no white cast, and played really well under makeup and didn't burn my eyes, so that is huge. The other sunscreen that I tried this year that was actually chemical and not tinted, and I think a little more silicone-y, is the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protector Lotion. It's SPF 50. So I've got that here. This is it. I used pretty much this whole thing. And this is a small bottle, and I want to say it was $35, but I picked this up at Target because my local Target has a Ulta inside of it, and it was really good under makeup. It goes on really sheer. This is one of the few sunscreens I used this year that has fragrance in it. And I love the way it smells. It smells like, I literally went to Sephora and said, do you have a perfume that smells like this sunscreen? It's like a light floral. It smells expensive, but it also has a citrusy kind of effect to it. However, the price point and the fragrance, I didn't feel like it was the best use of my money. So I looked into it and I found an article that said the Hydro Boost, this one, was a good dupe. Now, the smell of this one is clean, kind of soapy, and it smells good, but it is no Shiseido, which I understand. And I mostly ended up using this one on the body, especially because it did burn my eyes, and if I'm gonna work out, I don't wanna have to think like, oh, this morning I'm getting ready, I need to put on a sunscreen that's not gonna burn my eyes when I go to the gym. So this one is really nice. It dries down more matte, and it's SPF 50. So I mostly used this one in the summer, but it just dries down really nicely. I like to be dewy on my face and anything that's exposed, but under clothes, I do not want my sunscreen to be sticky. So that's that one. I will continue to buy it. I will say that it's a little hard to get in stores, so that's kind of a knock, and the reason that my bottle is so empty. But love that one. Will continue to buy specifically for body. Yeah. The Shiseido. Okay, towards the end of this year, I ended up in a groove of using tinted sunscreens. The ones that I chose tended to be mineral, and I decided I really liked them because they acted like makeup. I don't spend a lot of time in the morning getting ready. I like really compress my routine, and so I need products that are a powerhouse, that are hydrating and make me look healthy and awake quickly. And I don't tend to use foundation every single day, so with especially the mineral sunscreens that I use, I tended to find myself putting foundation over them, and then it just was an extra step that I didn't necessarily need because I mostly use like light to medium coverage. So I found tinted sunscreens and I have been with them ever since. So I have a few that I really love. The first one, and the one that I'm currently using, is the Eucerin Sensitive Mineral Face. It's zinc based and it's meant to be a universal color. I don't know if that's true because I am obviously kind of light medium, but it blends in really nicely. Something that I love about this one is that it's hydrating, that it is broadly available. I think I've seen it like at every drugstore. It's Eucerin, so it's kind of like a derm-friendly brand, not scented. And then the other thing is that tinted sunscreens have iron oxides in them, and so does makeup, but that adds an extra level of protection. So love this. I use it on my eyes, I use it on my face and neck, and especially if I have a little self tanner on, it looks very nice because I don't always put that on my face. So this is my current favorite. I think I've used 2 bottles so far. Next are 2 that I don't have. So the other one that I used probably the most this year is the Roche-Posay Anthelios. I believe it's SPF 50. It comes in a tinted and a non-tinted. I've only tried the tinted. I love it. It's really thin and it dries really nicely. I do find that it needs a little time to set, and like I said, I'm hustling, so that one I love, will continue to buy, have recommended to others who have also loved it, but every minute counts for me in the morning because I maybe spend 40 minutes from when I get up, brushing my teeth, doing my skincare, doing makeup, my hair, whatever, getting dressed and leaving. So I need it to dry quickly, but I love that one. Makeup looks really good on top of it. Another one that I do not have because I used it up is the Neutrogena Purescreen Mineral UV Tint. It is SPF 30, it's a mineral sunscreen. Again, it has vitamin E, so it feels really nice and hydrating, doesn't burn my eyes. The one thing with that one, I use the color medium, and I got that one specifically because I think I was using it more over last summer, and I needed it to match because I would put like self-tanner drops all the way up to my neck, but not on my face, and I wanted it to blend really nicely. That one, I use the color medium. It's a little pinky beigey. Like when it goes on, or the first time I used it, I was like, this is gonna be okay, but it blends really nicely into my skin. So I would definitely use that one again. And I think I went through 2 or 3 bottles. And it's really cost effective versus the little Roche-Posay is at least 35 bucks for that little bottle, and I think it would last me about 2 months of daily use. And then on to, I have another one that is probably not going to be a surprise to anyone. It is Glow Screen from Supergoop. I love this one. It is a chemical sunscreen, so I don't like to use it around my eyes, but it is gorgeous. If you are dry and you like to look shiny and hydrated, this is great. So this one, it lasts a pretty long time, but it has a UK rating, the plus, which I think it goes 1 higher. Let's see. It can get a little pilly under makeup if you don't give it time. But this one, just in terms of brightening up the skin, I don't have self-tanner on today, by the way, so this is kind of what my hands naturally look like. But it is gorgeous. It works really well as a primer, and SPF 40, just really nice. They also make a body product, I think. Haven't tried that one though, especially because I don't want anything glowy on my clothing most times. That leads me into the Sunbum dupe for this. I saw it at Target, I grabbed it. I also used up a few bottles of those. I don't have any handy because I did use them up, but it looks essentially exactly the same, but it doesn't have as much sunscreen. I think it's SPF 30. So I like that one a lot. I would recommend it. It has the same pitfalls as the Supergoop in terms of being very shiny. If you don't like that, you will not like this. And it needs to set, or it can get a little pilly with makeup, and it'll burn your eyes potentially. So you have to be kind of mindful. And I know there are eye sunscreens, like Supergoop makes one that I think is a pink tint that I keep meaning to try, but I try to minimize the amount of different sunscreen products I'm using on my face. Next, I have lip products. So I have two, and they are both drugstore. The first one is the Moisture Shine from Neutrogena. This one is pretty well loved. It's almost empty. I used two different colors of this and they looked exactly the same. But these I think have been around for a really long time, and they're just like a nice pinky tint, sheer, SPF 20. Love this one. It's minty. It's not plumping, but it just feels really nice and hydrating and has a little bit of color. And that's SPF 20. I can find these at pretty much every drugstore beauty aisle I find. So big fan of these and looking to try more variations in the next year. Then an honorable mention is the Lip Smacker. It's kind of shaped like a pill. This is an SPF 30, which I thought was really impressive. It looks like this, and I bought this at a pharmacy. I was waiting in line to pick up a prescription and I saw this, and I'm sure it was very cheap. It is not glossy, but it has a little bit of a pink tint. This one I'll keep in my bathroom and put it on when I'm putting on the rest of my sunscreen. And then I don't find that it interferes with other lip products. So I will continue to use this. Super cheap. It has like a very chapsticky fragrance, like strawberry. It's nice. Big fan. And then I have two more product recommendations that are like honorable mentions. The first one is expensive. I want to say it's like $70. But it is worth it. So most of these things are drugstore, and this totally goes against that convenience and cost-effective factor, but it, like I said, it's worth it. So this is the Cle De Peau Beauty Concealer. It's a stick, and it's SPF 27, so kind of random. But this is a beautiful concealer. It is very hydrating and a little goes a long way. You do need to kind of let it melt in. But I love it specifically for times that I am broken out because it covers really well. And I don't love to set it, so I don't really use it under my eyes, but specifically if I just use a small brush to even out a blemish, it stays longer than almost any other concealer I own. So that is a favorite, highly recommend. It's kind of a cult favorite, but one I discovered recently. So love this, we'll continue to use, and it doesn't need to be that convenient because it lasts an eternity. And then the last honorable mention is something that is much more cost effective, and that is the Dream BB Fresh from Maybelline. This has SPF 30. It's a tinted moisturizer. It says it does 8 different things that are hydrating and glowy. So definitely would recommend as a, like in place of a foundation. And I definitely use this one over my non-tinted sunscreens over the course of last year. This one I really like to bring in my bag and use as a midday touch-up. I would just squeeze it on and then just tap it over my face and kind of leave any like bronzer or blush out of the picture, and it is lovely. But this one I think has been around for quite a long time, and I use the color Light Medium 110. And this is what it looks like. This one has been in my purse, as you can see, so it's got remnants of other makeup on it, but big fan. Blends really nicely, and it is mineral. It just really evens out the skin nicely. You can see that little bit of glow. Okay guys, those are the rapid fire favorites from last year that I will continue to buy, continue to recommend, and I will still be hot on the case looking for even better items, but these are ones that are essentially holy grails at this point. If you would like to hear more about my skincare or other preferences, like and subscribe.